please put your hands together for Sambuddha Mishra from IISc.
So I'm going to start my talk with a Greek philosophical quote because I study river chemistry and why river chemistry is important. So Heraclitus said that no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river and he is not the same man. But that apart, rivers are important because it connects the continents to the ocean. And I'll give you an example, the Aravalli Mountains, west of Delhi. Before the construction mafia got to it, was about a kilometer high and protected Delhi from the west flowing winds. But that mountain at some point in time, about 150 million years ago, was as high as the Himalayas. Weathering has eroded that mountain away. And when you look at weathering, you look at the physical part of it, the sediments which are flowing down the river. But there is a hidden component to it, which is the dissolved part of it. That dissolved part, when it reaches the oceans, supplies the ocean with nutrients, and that allows the ocean to have life in it. So the transport of that nutrients, transport of those materials from the starting point where the glacier melts and produces the first bit of water that starts dissolving the rock, how it is carried down the continent to the ocean and how it gets transformed in the estuaries. Because we know that estuaries are quite different from the freshwater rivers. Now, rivers play an important role in sustaining life not only on continents. We know all great civilizations came up around large rivers. But they also supply these nutrients which allows productivity because remember 50% of photosynthesis happens in the ocean. And without these rivers, the oceans will become dead at some point of time. So river chemistry is something that I focus on. Now, you will ask me that uh, a river, if it melts, if it produces water, if it dissolves something, it should just flow along the path and come to the ocean, but it doesn't happen like that. Once the river enters an estuary, which is a very dynamic region in the world, because you have seawater coming in from one end, you have the fresh water flowing from the other end, things get mixed up. The acidity of the water changes, the amount of carbon dioxide dissolved in the water changes, and as a result, some of these particles which are present in the water will start releasing ions, some will start absorbing ions. And a classical example is that if you look at the Ganga River, the concentration of metals is always low, where if you look at the Narmada River, the concentration of metals are always high, simply because Ganga has a lot of sediment. And those of us who have sat in the ghats of Calcutta and have looked at the river, we have seen the river looks brown, never green or never blue. So understanding how these materials get transported and how it helps sustain life is my work. Thank you.